So what do we got here? A little something from Aquatech. A brand new release actually just came out today. Let's open the box and find out what it is. This here thing is called a manual shutter release. That's what Aquatech are calling it. And I got to try it out last week in the ocean, and got to say, it's got some advantages. So this new edition is to go with the edge housing from Aquatech, and it's to go on top of these X handles, which are some newish handles. I've actually done a YouTube video on that, so I'll link it just above here somewhere, so you can check out them. But these X handles have been a really good addition, and now with this manual trigger, this manual shutter release, these are even more powerful. So last week, as I said, I got out in the ocean with this and gave it a try, and this is what this video is about, to see the advantages, if there's any disadvantages, or will I be using it further, and will it fit your photography and your videography. So yeah, first of all, you will need to mount this on top of an X handle, and I think the new edge housings may be coming with the X handles now, but if you got one a little while ago, you would have got handles more like this, and while they do the job, they are not going to fit not just this trigger, but a few other things that I'll be talking about in future YouTube videos. So these X handles are really good. I think they're around about $99 Australian to get the X handles, and I think I'm going to get a second one because they're just so good, and like there's some more things coming that I'm going to want to mount on these X handles. But that's enough about the X handles. So first out, mounting's pretty easy. Aquatech have actually got a pretty comprehensive video on their YouTube. Phil goes through how to mount this properly to your housing, but it is really pretty basic. Now, can you see the reason for this is because you've got a steady hold on both of these side handles, which is fantastic for when you're using 70-200mm lenses, 100mm lenses, something like that. The longer lenses, you need to be a lot more sturdy in the water, especially if you're a video shooter. I'm more of a still shooter, so I am going to be using this every time I take out the 70-200, that's for sure, the 100mm, and possibly even the 50mm, because it just feels quite good. I've only taken it out in the ocean once so far. I had the 100mm macro on it, and yeah, it just felt really good. The focusing was nice and clean. I had my elbows in, so it was nice and sturdy, and I did shoot some video footage with the 100mm, which I never normally do. I'm normally a wider shooter when it comes to video, just because of the stabilization. So if you're a video guy that wants to use the longer lenses, I would say this setup with the X handles and they're on off. So you've got to configure your housing to make sure that this trigger is on off, and you just when you are starting and stopping video, it's very seamless, easy, and there's no shaking around. So I would say the use case for you as a photographer or a videographer would be someone that uses longer lenses, probably longer than 50mm lenses for their still photography. Certainly the ones that are using the 70-200. I know there's a lot of 70-200 shooters out there. They will be frothing on this. And also the video shooters, whether you are shooting wide or you are shooting with longer lenses. If I was a video guy, I'd be right onto this. So first thoughts are, I've taken it out for one session. I'm already quite used to it, so I'd probably only get more and more happy with the way this works. It's definitely something that I would recommend if you're shooting in that way. So on the Aquatech Australian site at the moment, they are retailing for $199. I think it's $179 for the US store. So while it's not absolutely necessary for your photography, like you can get away without it, it's just those little 1%ers that can make a difference. And like I said, if you're a video shooter or you're a long lens shooter, I would seriously consider the new manual X handle shutter release. Once again, it's got to go on to one of these X handles. So if you don't already have one of them, they're about $99. So you have to add that to your cost as well. But moving forward, I am going to be using this, especially when I'm using longer lenses in the water. If you want to explore it further, I'll put the links to Aquatech below. And I can always offer you the 5% extra discount off if you use my code word TOMW that works every day of the year on the Aquatech site in the American store and the Australian store. So if it interests you, get on it. Got any questions? Leave them in the comments below.